Hey guys, Dr. Norris Goldberg here, and today I want to talk to you about the big three. The big three are the three most essential, most foundational exercises that you should be doing, not just for your low back pain, but really for the integrity and health of your spine, your core, and therefore the rest of your body, okay? So let me break it down. We're going to do three different exercises. The three exercises are going to be bird dogs, side plank, maybe even a modified side plank, and I'll show you how to do that, and then a modified crunch or curl up, okay? So these three exercises have been around for a long time, but definitely giving credit to Dr. Stuart McGill, who is considered like the low back pain guru, a doctor out of Canada, who was recently featured on the Huberman Lab podcast, and we've been teaching our patients these exercises for years, but I want to give you a new video, a condensed format to show you how to do it and how to do it with best form. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is bird dogs. And bird dogs, you're going to be on all four or quadruped position. Your back's going to be nice and flat. So some people know, cat-cow exercise. That's not this one. Just going to be nice and flat. Shoulder blades kind of down and back, not up into your shoulders or into your neck. And then what you're going to simply do is at first, if this is new to you, you want to just slide one heel straight back and then come forward. If it's something you've done before, you can lift that heel straight back. So I'm not going up, it's not a donkey kick. I'm literally just extending the heel straight back like I'm gonna push it into the wall. And then the final or more advanced move, it would be opposite arm, opposite leg. And so what we're gonna do with this one is I'm gonna do right leg back, left leg forward, or like left arm forward. And I wanna be able to get my arm up my bicep right by my ear, right? My leg, my heel straight back. I'm definitely feeling it in my glute, right? Very activated right here. And then the quieter I can be through the transitions, meaning the less motion I have side to side like this, the more stable I can be as I'm moving, which this movement really mimics almost like a full out run, a sprint, a jump. But it's a dynamic movement. So as I'm moving, if I can stay quiet in my core, you're going to get the most benefit out of it. What I'd recommend is starting with a 10 to 12, but you could easily do up to 20. Okay guys, so we are going to do the side plank now, and maybe even a modified side plank. A lot of people, if you're an athlete, you're not going to want to do a modification. It's kind of an ego hit, but I'll tell you what, once I modified these for myself, I got a lot more out of the exercise. So here's the side plank. We're all pretty familiar with this. We're going to stack our feet. We're going to put our weight into our elbow. Maybe lift this opposite hand and go straight up, and then I'm going to lift my hips up. And I'm also, what you can't see on the camera is I'm really trying to push my hips forward, making sure that I'm feeling the contraction in my obliques right here between the ribs and the pelvis, and then the side of the hip here in my glute medius, okay? So if I can hold this, that's fine, but what I realized was after probably maybe a 15-20 second hold, I start sagging, right? Or maybe I pull my hips back slightly and I get more flexion in my hips right here. And so one thing you can do is if you do it on your knee, so I'm in the same position, got my knees bent though, and then I'm gonna really push my hips forward and up. And same thing, I'm really feeling this along my side, but most concentrated right here in my obliques and then in my glute medius here. I always like to hold this hand up and even squeeze the fist as hard as you can. You're gonna get a better muscle contraction when you squeeze like that. So again, you can hold that. If it's really hard, then do reps. What I mean by that would be like going up, holding it for 2 or 3 seconds, and then come back down. If you can do that easily, then you wanna start going for cumulative time. Shoot for 30 seconds, and then you can start adding 15 seconds at a time, getting up to over a minute easily, but probably over 2 minutes, there's not much benefit. Okay guys, the last exercise is the modified crunch or curl up. Now back in the day, even I learned to do these where you would like stick your feet under a couch or a bar or some sort of resistance, and then you would just crunch all the way up and hammer those, and then we'd pretty much call it a day. Our ab workout was done. But I'll tell you what I've learned a lot over the last several years is that's a very one-dimensional workout, meaning you may be strong in one area, but you're going to be really setting yourself up for an injury somewhere else. So what you want to do is with the modified crunch, you're going to lay down. A lot of other videos, I've taught the hollow hold where you really brace the core and you flatten that curve in your low back. Similar mechanism where you're going to put your hands underneath and then you're going to squeeze, right? So I'm squeezing my core, I'm priming it, I'm pulling my belly button towards my spine, and then with my chin slightly tucked, I'm going to lift my sternum right here, okay? I also have my elbows up, so I'm not pushing my elbows into the ground. They're slightly up. I'm engaged. And then I'm lifting, right? I also have one knee bent, one knee straight, putting a little bit of pressure into that heel. But you can also make it harder and more advanced by potentially lifting a leg, but we're not going to talk about that today. I'm going to show you this from a few different angles now. So if I'm doing this right, when I go back and watch that video, I'm going to see that my chin and my sternum or my chest bone are going to lift about the same speed. What I'm not doing is a chin jut like that, and I'm not curling up like that. Only need to come up high enough to lift the shoulder blades off the ground. So here's the view from a few different angles. Right, again, chin slightly tucked. Once I stop talking, I'm also going to be pressing my tongue into the roof of my mouth. That's going to help get the best contraction here. And again, my hands are under my low back with my elbows slightly raised and a little bit of pressure on this down leg heel. This leg just kind of hanging out here, okay? Again, you don't want to do too much of a chin jut. Even there on that first one, I could feel I had a little bit more chin jut than I wanted to. I tucked the chin, I continued to move through the motion, and I had a great connection with my core over the last couple reps. So with that one, it's pretty tough. You might only have to be able to do 2 or 3 high quality reps. And if they're not high quality, you should just stop, because otherwise you're just going to recruit the wrong muscles. You might even hurt yourself. But if you can build those reps up and start hitting 10 on each side, that'd be ideal. So that's the big 3. That's some of the best rehab exercises we can give you for low back pain, but I recommend it to really all of my patients, but especially the more athletic ones, to prevent injuries and to keep your spine and core as healthy and you as happy as possible.